anesthesia, and would have to stay away from work for a couple of weeks. Now you walk off the table, you're awake the whole time. Make very small incisions, and most people do abdomen. And they're sitting there with a machine that essentially melts the fat, and you just suction it out. And you get off, and we're talking the whole time. We're sitting there telling jokes, yeah, and sharing stories. All my liposuction patients know a lot more about me than I probably know. You know, we talk for 3 hours. It takes about 3.5 hours. And we tell them to bring their iPod, but they want to talk. So I'm sitting there talking to them, and the nurse is talking to them. It's actually a lot of fun. But as soon as we get through, they get up from the bed and walk to the
recuperation. I mean,
we tell people not to go to work the next day, but they could if they wanted to, only because there's still drainage from the incisions. We don't close them, so you have to keep changing the pads, you know, throughout the day. You wear a compression garment, and it's a hassle to do it at work. But if they want to, they can go to work. I've had several patients that go to work the next day, you know, after doing.
How much can you take out? I mean,
it varies from person to person. But if you can imagine a container that has about 1.5 liters, in some people we've taken 3 to 4 of those out, mostly with the melted fat, and the average is about 2. It's not a weight loss program. It's a shaping program because you can take quite a bit of that fat out and you skin away the same, but you can fit into clothing better.
And to the skin, you took out all that water.
The heat that you generate in melting the fat, you spend little time heating the inside layer of the skin, and that's where collagen gets formed, and it causes contraction. And over the next few months, you actually have some tightening of the skin. And then, of course, using the compression garment also helps in that regard. Now, there are going to be some people that already had loose skin before the procedure, and it might help it a little bit, but not a lot. So some people may not be candidates for liposuction and instead need, you know, the knife. But there's a lot of people that benefit from just doing the liposuction. They don't have general anesthesia, which, as you know, is the most
yes.
The number one complication of surgery is reaction to anesthesia. The second one is bleeding, and the third one is infection. So you eliminate the biggest one by not having general anesthesia. There's not a lot of bleeding in this procedure because of some of the medicine that you use, and you don't go after big arteries or veins. And with infection, you just take antibiotics a few days before and after, and we use, of course, sterile technique. We've not had an infection, you know, and hope we never do. So it's a very well tolerated procedure, very well, and a lot less expensive than in the old days.
Can you do the chin then? You can do with liposuction the chin?
You can use a smart lipo for the chin. Now, some people also use a Vaser. There's 2 techniques. One uses high-frequency ultrasound. That's called Vaser. And the other uses laser, which is a smart lipo. In areas where you don't have a lot to take, smart lipo is perfect. In areas where you have to have more taken out, then the Vaser it works. But yeah, chin, arms, the thighs, abdomen, back. Let's see, those are the major areas.
So we charge by the pound?
We charge by the area, and it's a bargain for some people, for sure.
Bargain basement?
Yeah.
Of course, men don't do this, right?
Oh, men do it. No, men do it all the
Men
time.
do that too.
Absolutely. Men do abdomen, and you've heard of gynecomastia. It's man boob, you know, is the lay term, and you actually have to use that term because people don't understand what gynecomastia is. But a lot of men have that, not necessarily older men, younger men. We've done that for kids in their 20s who have always had it. I mean, it's just the way they are. And we did a 24-year-old about a year ago that said he had never, from high school on, had never taken his shirt off in public because he was embarrassed. And you know, after we did that procedure, he goes to the beach, and you know, he was pretty muscular. It's just, you know, he didn't like the way his breasts look. So no, men make up probably a quarter of the patients that we see, and men get Botox and men get fillers, especially, you know, we're a youth-oriented society, and we are not ready to retire at 40 or 50, and we still want to be out in the workforce, and a lot of people find themselves looking for jobs in that age, and sprucing themselves up just a little bit can make a big difference. We actually have one patient who's in his 60s, and he agreed to be found that he had more doors open and for interviews. You know, and it's unfortunate that that's the way it is, but it is a youth-oriented society.
So, after you go for the first session, do you have to go for subsequent sessions?
No,
Same area?
it depends what you're doing. On the liposuction, we usually don't recommend multiple sessions for that area. And some people, you're limited as to how much of the lidocaine you can use in any one city. So it's impossible to do the whole body, and some people want the whole body. You know, so we have to do it in steps. But you're going to have, there's going to be a maximum return from any one area. So going in again afterward is not going to give you any better results than you would like. Occasionally, you go in there and do a little bit of touch-up, but not that. Now, a lot of people do combination things. For example, they'll do the Botox, the fillers, and then they'll do the smart lipo for the chin. There's also the procedure that you can do lifting without having to cut off any skin. It's the suture suspension, where you can actually improve this right here, and for a few weeks you have like little wings like Klingons did here, but it all disappears. So there's a lot of things that can be done now that don't require anything really major. It looks major if you don't like needles or knives, but you don't have to have general anesthesia.
Have you gone to any parties?
Yeah, we have. We usually have them at our office because you want to have a clean environment, and not that you can't have that at someone's home, but you have to have the right lighting. You know, I don't want to miss.
We have time for one more.
Botox question?
Bueno, como mi inglés es muy malo,
Ajá.
yo quería saber más o menos cuánto cuesta la levantada de cachete, así.
Como
La cachete mía.
Más o menos. 6,000. ¿Y no hay cupones, doctor?
¿Ah?
¿No hay cuponcitos?
Oh, sí, tenemos discounts all the time, $600. It depends, depende cuántas áreas tenemos que hacer.
Sí, ¿verdad? Pero nada más sería cachete y aquí así un poquito.
Between 4,000 and 5,000, 4,000 and 6,000, something like that. In the old, back before when you
They
had
don't
to
put
go
you
to,
to sleep, which is,
Yeah.
no te duermen, no te
Yeah.
duermen.
¿No?
it
No,
used,
no duermen.
¿En serio? ¿Así sentada?
Sí.
¡Ih, qué gacho!
Antes, con el hospital y el anesthesiologist costaba como $20,000.
Vamos a platicar mientras te pasan
Pero así sentada me la puede hacer. Así.
Bueno, no sentado, está
Bueno, sí.
acostado.
Pero yo estoy viendo.
Ya tiene aquí,
Yo
ya
estoy
tiene
viendo.
customer.
Sí.
No es cierto. y
Bueno,
me
podemos
cortan-
poner algo para que no.
Y me cortan.
Nomás un poco aquí.
Ay,
No,
qué
no, no
mal.
cortamos la pierna, nomás hacemos como incision. Yeah.
Sí, y le jala.
Ujú.
Ay, qué mal. ¿Y cuánto se tarda más o menos eso?
¿Cuánto qué?
Se tarda.
2 horas, 3 horas.
You could do half now and the other half later.
Yeah. I hope I don't have that kind of result. Sometimes it doesn't go well. It looks like you didn't have.
Well, gracias, doctor
Thank you.
Basaldua.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.